You must love yourself. You must love your neighbour. You must love God. On the whole law and the prophets does this hold. Now, some people say, oh, you can't love yourself. That's a sin. That's vanity. Don't do that. No. Don't. That's not right. So we don't do that. And your neighbour, well, they annoy me sometimes and I don't know what to do about them, and maybe I just love them but I don't have to like them. Maybe I could go a middle ground somewhere, God. And loving God, yeah, no problems. Yeah, we can do that. Maybe because God's so far away, doesn't matter. But when the challenge comes, love yourself, love your neighbour and love God, it's about a deep, profound relationship. Loving yourself, the commandment tonight's gospel, is not some great pop psychology. It's not, oh yeah, everyone have good steam and you'll be great and you're doing well. That's not what it's about. Love of yourself is essential. Why? Because it's about bringing to perfection that which God has given you. Matthew's Gospel. Bring to perfection the gift that you have been given. Venerable Fulton Sheen once said, and I love the way he puts this, that's why I quote it, you will not be judged on what you do not have, because you can't be, but you will be judged on what you do have, on the gift that you have. Sometimes we say, oh, look, I'm no good at sport, I wish I was better at sport, and we get into all this jealousy stuff. Or my marriage is not too good, their marriage is so much better, I just put myself down. Or, they're such a great artist or something like that, and I just put myself down again and again and again and again. Tonight's gospel says, don't do that, because you've been given a gift and you need to bring that gift to perfection. The gift that is given to you. Why? What's love about? The Christian understanding of love is basically about willing the good of the other, willing the good of yourself, willing the good of your neighbour, and willing the good of God. If we will the good of ourselves, we love ourselves, we bring that gift that God has given us to perfection. And when we do that, we are saying to our neighbour, come on, you bring your gift to perfection too. And if you bring your gift, if I love you enough to will the good of you, that together we become the mystical body of Christ. We become healed. We become understanding there are many gifts, many parts of the body that are different, that work together. I'm going to say a statement that probably you've never heard before. Catholics are different. We're different how we think. We're not for abortion. We're not for euthanasia. We're for about the image of God, the Imago Dei, that brings to perfection the God that we are made in the likeness of. And when we love ourselves, when we will the good of ourselves and our gift, when we will the good of our neighbour bringing their gift, when the mystical body of Christ is healed and operating, then we give worship to God. And we love God, because we love God as a healed body of Christ. How do you love God with your heart? The heart, the Jewish people say, is the seat of emotion. It's where we check ourselves. What's true, what's not? Am I understanding what's happening here? How do we love God, self and others with our soul? The Jewish people understand the soul is in the throat. It's not what goes into a person that makes them unclean. It's what passes through the soul and out that makes them unclean. So the soul is about, how do I manifest God, the way I speak? And how do we love God with our mind? Well, that's how do I manifest God by the way I think. It's about being a whole gestalt human being, not just a pathology, but the whole being, heart, soul, mind, that I love the Lord who is my strength. Today's gospel, I love, because it's the heart of what Jesus is saying to us. If you get this, you get the law and the prophets. You get what it means to follow Christ. I love myself. I love my neighbour. And I love you, God, my strength. The Jewish people understood these two commandments. They actually come from the book of Deuteronomy and they come from the book of Leviticus. But what Jesus did extraordinarily is he put them on an equal footing. Love of God is just as important of love of self and neighbour. That was revolutionary. Revolutionary, that how I will the good of God is how I will the good of myself and my neighbour. Now I'm just going to take you down here.